What is up, everybody? Kay's Fishing Adventures here, back at it again with another Temu lure review video. This is part 3 so far of this little ongoing series that we have going on, and I got a lot of interesting stuff to look at with you guys today. First and foremost, though, I want to get started by saying I have been waiting for the season to really get started. I cannot wait to get out there and start making videos for you guys actually getting out on the water and catching fish. But Massachusetts hasn't been very cooperative with me with its weather lately. But I am hoping to have at least a couple of those videos out within the week. I definitely plan on getting out there, so hopefully I'll have some good content for you guys. But for today, we are going to go ahead and take a look at some new Temu lures that we got. So we're going to start out today with these little guys here. I'm trying to go from mid to decent. That's why I got it organized today. But we're going to start off with these little guys here, which they are pre-rigged. They got the hook in there. They're little just soft plastic swim baits. Overall, look-wise, I think they look okay. Unlike some of the other lures that I've got later on here, I haven't gotten a chance to use them yet, so I'm not entirely sure how they look in the water. But these came in a 10-pack, and I believe I spent a little over $3 on them. But yeah, it was just a 10-pack of these guys, this exact lure. Kind of give you guys a closer look at it. And obviously, if you want, you can remove the treble hook, which I did for a couple of mine, and then I left it on for the rest of them, but that's up to personal preference and all of that stuff. And the next lure that we're going to take a look at is one that I have heard is quite controversial in the world of fishing, but I definitely wanted to give it a try. I will say, kind of disappointed with the way that it came packaged. It was advertised as coming in like a plastic case to kind of keep it from getting smushed. It did not. It just came in kind of like a soft plastic container. But that's what we're looking at. It was a little 2-pack. These were kind of expensive, which is why I was a bit disappointed in the packaging. These were a little over $5. If I recall correctly, and yeah, they're a little smaller than I thought. Didn't come packaged as planned. You can see some of the little limbs here are damaged because of that. I'm not sure how good you can see that, but I think they'll still perform, so we'll get them out there. I plan on actually making a video specifically trying out some of these lures that I'm showing you guys today, kind of talking about how they work and whatnot, so we'll come back to these and see how they do. But that's these guys here. These little, I always thought these looked weird. That's why I say I know they're a bit controversial, but I had to try them out. And that segues us into our next soft plastic, which is these guys here. Normally I would take these out of the package and show them to you guys a little bit better, but these guys are stinky. They are scented. But they are black and red. That is the color that I got. I have a couple other colors in this coming, so we'll try it out and see how that goes. And this is the packaging it comes in here. It does not give me a size, but I do believe that I got the bigger of the 2 size options, because they come with 2 size options. And this comes with 4, I believe, 4 or 5 of these little soft plastics here. And this was a little over $3. Getting all the prices mixed up in my head, but this was a little over $3 for a pack of 4 of them. And these are the bigger size of the 2. So, and like I said, they are scented, and they smell, well, not good to me, but very similar to like your power bait, stuff like that. It's got a very similar scent, so I'm hoping that those will perform well. And next up, we have got this guy here, which I had been looking at for a while, and I didn't bite the bullet on it, but I went ahead and did that recently, and I do actually have 2 other colors of this guy coming. But this is another pre-rigged soft plastic. You see it's kind of got that interesting light green color with the black stripes. Got a little bit of blue on the cheek here. And this does have a treble hook that you can kind of pull up and out. But obviously it's supposed to be kept up in there, just like that. And I've seen people use these a lot, so I wanted to go ahead and get my hands on one and give it a try. And quality-wise, I mean, like I've said before in some of my other videos, I mean, for the most part, you really can't beat it. With Temu, obviously, every once in a while, there will be exceptions to that. You'll get something that maybe isn't great quality-wise. But for the most part, yeah, you really can't complain, because, I mean, this feels, I mean, just like one from a Bass Pro or a Walmart would feel, and you get it for way less. This guy was about $4 for one of them, but they're often on sale. You'll see them like on sale for $2-3. It really depends. You gotta watch it. But I think this guy looks really cool. He's got almost like a squared paddle tail. And I look forward to getting this out in the water. I think it's the perfect size. Honestly, it's not too big, it's not too small, but if you're wanting to go in that kind of little bit of a bigger swim bait area, this is great. And that is what you find it under when you go on there. You search up like swim baits and stuff like that, and this, as well as glide baits, stuff like that, they will come up. This next lure that I have for you guys here, I love. I have 2 in this color, and I have 3 more coming in a different color, because these just, they look great. The action in the water is phenomenal. I've yet to catch a fish on this yet, but that's really not the fault of the lure. It's just the season that we're in, and the bite hasn't been too great. But I love this guy. He's got a little paddle tail, pre-rigged obviously with your jig head, and then you've got this little spoon right under here. And I absolutely love this. I mean, it's got great action in the water. You've got the little spoon spin with the paddle tail when you're reeling it in. You can go a little slower, jerk it, you can go faster. There's a lot of different things, like ways that you can fish this lure, and I really love it. This one came just like this. It didn't have any replacement bodies, and this one was a little over $1, just about $2. They do have this same lure for sale with extra bodies as well, though. So one of the other ones that I purchased comes with 2 extra soft plastic bodies. Those are a little bit more expensive, so do keep that in mind if you're going to, you know, if you think you're going to want something like this and use it, and because obviously it's good to have the replacement bodies, especially if it's something that gets bit a lot. You don't want to keep using the same one, so definitely keep that in mind. And this jig head is a little heavier. I'm not entirely sure the exact weight, but I think it's around 10, like 10 grams, because it is a bit heavier, but it's not too heavy. Like, you can get a good cast on it. I cast it with my bait caster, no problem, if that's any consolation. And this next lure that we have here is actually I rigged it with a soft plastic that did not come from Temu, but it is this jig head here. And Temu, I have to say, very underrated place for getting these jig heads here. They have so many of them in different colors, and honestly, they're just as good as the one that you would get from the bait shop. I mean, the hook is just as sharp. This one here is blue and black, and I went ahead and put one of my Strike Ring Rage Craws on here, which I think it looks great. I think it'll do really well. But yeah, I mean, this thing was under $2, this jig head, and they have sets of them. They have, I mean, you could buy them in sets of 5, you can buy them individually, and they are dirt cheap compared to some other places. And the detail on them, I think, is great. I mean, he's got that eye and the sparkle in the paint. Like, I mean, I think that looks just as good as any name brand jig head. I don't know if you can see that blue and black in there. But I think that looks really great. I'm very excited to use it. Now we're getting into a little bit of topwater territory. I have saved the best for last for you guys in terms of this set of lures. The one that I'm most excited to try, I have saved for very last. But yeah, now we're getting into topwater territory. And I will say, a little bit of a complaint from me here. This was advertised as a Storm topwater whopper plopper. The issue with this being, when you find a lure on Temu that says it's like Storm, like that brand in particular, you'll notice that the package all says Smash Shad. This lure came taped. The package that it was in was taped closed, and it kind of had gaps. It was, you could tell that this was not a Storm bait, which is fine. But I did pay a bit more for this. This was a little over $6, this lure. And now the reason I purchased this was to compare to this. This is the same exact lure, different color, and it cost me $3. The reason for the price difference is because this one was not advertised as a Storm lure. So keep that in mind when you are searching on Temu, especially if you're looking for something like a whopper plopper, which is what I put into the search bar to find these. Because a lot of the listings are very much the same thing, just at different prices. So make sure that you're looking at that and you're really paying attention to it. That way there, you're not spending a little bit more on something that you really don't want to be paying that much for. Now, that being said, both of these have great action. They float like they're supposed to. The propeller goes like it's supposed to. And I personally think this one looks great. I think it has a very nice color. I did take the back hook off, personal preference, as I've mentioned in some earlier videos. But yeah, definitely keep that in mind, because same thing, a little over $3 price difference. So that is these little guys. Staying within the realm of a whopper plopper temporarily, I had to get this guy. Do I think that this will catch me fish? I don't know. But I just loved it, so I had to have it. And worst case, if it doesn't catch me fish, it's a great little display piece to have for my mantle. And that is this guy. This is obviously a topwater whopper plopper type lure. I did put smaller hooks on it than the hooks that came with it. It had some big hooks on there. And I did leave both treble hooks on this. But it looks like a little pickerel, little northern pike. I thought it had really cool eyes. It's got that little slit pupil there. I have not gotten this one out on the water, but it looks to have the same kind of tail as the other whopper ploppers. The color of this is also a bit different than was advertised, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm not really too worried about that. It's got kind of like a dark green to black on the top, and then this kind of crackled yellow paint. Quality-wise, this is probably on the lower end for a lot of the Temu lures I've received. The paint is kind of chipped. I'm not sure if you can see it there on the side. But this lure cost me $2, so like I said, I just loved the way it looked. I had never seen anything like it before, so I had to buy it. We will see when we try out all of these lures together if this does catch anything. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I just thought that was so cool again. So, but anyway, next up on the list here, I swear, even if they're just sitting next to each other, the hooks get tangled. This was a set of 3 different lures, all the same kind of lures, just different colors. And to start off with, we have this very nice striped blue, black, and silver with the red eye. And we've got some red treble hooks on here. Next up, we've got the pink and silver. Got a little bit of black on that head there. And then, of course, the red eye and the red treble hook. And last but not least, the best looking of the three, if you were to ask me, is this white guy with that red eye. And I think everybody who is familiar with topwater fishing knows what kind of lure this is. But for a set of 3 of these, they came in their own little plastic container with the 3 of them. It cost me $4. So for 3 lures, and they're decent size. Not that you know how big my hand is, but they're decently sized. And they float fine in the water. They've got great action for this kind of bait. So, I mean, like I said, a 3-pack of something like this at Bass Pro is probably going to run you a lot more than $3. So, if you like topwater fishing, if this is your kind of lure, I definitely recommend them. They're weighted nice, and they have a good rattle. So, yeah, like I said, I really don't think you can beat it for the price, personally. Paint's a little bit scratched up. I mean, a lot of the times, the ones like these don't come in perfect, pristine condition. Ones like this, where it's the majority of it is just the color of the plastic they're using, those usually look fine, but you can see the parts where they kind of paint. It's not as great. Something else you'll see a lot with the Temu lures is paint chipping, where you've got your split ring connections. But all of that is little nitpicky stuff. I mean, overall, I would say that this looks pretty good. And now we're getting close to the conclusion here. We've got a couple more lures to take a peek at. But this is the last of our topwater section. And this bait, I have heard is also controversial, but I've also heard good things about it. And so I had to try it because I just thought it looked great. Obviously, the tail is not like the pink that you would expect, and I would say for this lure, the tail is probably the worst part of it. It does have good action in the water, but in terms of appearance, it is the worst looking part of it. Got some decent sized hooks on there, but this is a little topwater rat. And what I really liked about this is that it almost looks like wet fur. Like if you were to see a rat swimming, that's almost what you would think it would look like. Which I really liked. I thought it was very natural. I thought it would be good for clear water where you've kind of got like this type of wildlife and whatnot, especially for pike, pickerel, fish like that. So I do have another type of topwater rat, but that one's kind of more cartoon-esque. It's like more gray with like the pink nose, but this one I really liked. And this guy was a little over $3 as well. And the action for this is great. I mean, it swims in the water exactly like how it's supposed to. It floats totally fine. It's weighted really well. The connection for that little swim action is totally great. I can't recommend the topwater rats off of Temu enough. As odd as that might sound, like they really, it's bang for your buck, honestly. I mean, for what you'd pay for something like this elsewhere, like, definitely bang for your buck, in terms of that. And getting to our, we only have 3 left, technically 3 left, and this is a little interesting, so I'll take you guys like this. This was a $5 set of spinning lures, inline spinners. I'll go ahead and take a couple of them out here to show you. I think these look great. I mean, what, $5? Like, and there's 10 of them in here. I did add a couple of extra ones, that's why it looks so full, but there's 10 lures in here. 10 little inline spinners, and all of them look different. Some have the feathers, and some are more like this with kind of like your traditional spoon and whatnot, but these look just like the Meps. If you ask me, in my personal opinion, they look just like the Meps, and I really like that. because you're certainly not getting 10 MEPs for $5. That's for sure. Hook quality is, I would say, to be expected for Temu. They're definitely sharp. They will do the job. You can't complain about them, but sometimes they come a little grimy looking, if that makes sense. We got a bunch of different colors here too. So yeah, I mean, do with that information what you will. Like, I will say overall, if you're asking me, I think these are definitely worth it. I mean, the amount of them that you get for the price. I mean, like I said, 10 for $5. I mean, you're not you're not getting it anywhere else for that cheap. I don't think. I've certainly never seen them that cheap elsewhere. So definitely recommend these, in my personal humble opinion. Because I mean, you know, that's the thing, like $5 for 10 inline spinners. I mean, and again, action wise, they're great. I mean, they look just like any other spinner in the water. So go out there and try them. What's the worst that's gonna happen, right? I mean, it's $5. It's a lot less than you'd be spending elsewhere. So try it. You like it, great. You've got 10 of them. If not, I mean, it's not too big of a loss. And now the second to last lure that we have here, I should say lures, they're actually a little interesting. I went ahead and took one of them. You'll notice one is missing, and that is because I went ahead and made a little necklace out of it, which if you guys are interested in fishing lure necklaces, let me know. Yeah, I love making them. This one's made out of purple fishing line, and it's got the little lure, obviously hooks taken off, but this was a 5-pack of little mini crankbaits, and I thought these would be great for smaller fish, just because the detail on them is phenomenal. I mean, that's supposed to be a little yellow perch, and I think it looks great. It's got the cute little hook, obviously your little lip. We've got the baby bass color, which, I mean, come on. Look at that. I think they look phenomenal. This guy here. So, I mean, and this was $3 for 5 of these little mini crankbaits. So again, if you ask me, I'd say definite bang for your buck. I plan on getting more of these to make some necklaces for my friends and my fishing friends, and so even if you're into like arts and crafts or something, you got people who fish in your life and stuff like that, make them a little necklace. But like, that's just a bonus. I mean, for fishing, I would say these would work for a smaller fish, maybe something like a crappie or a smaller bass, baby pickerel, pike, anything like that, I think would definitely eat it. And the quality of them, I just think, is phenomenal. I think the paint job is great. And now we have gotten to what I say is the best of this bunch of lures. This is a bit of a bigger lure, and of course I'm talking about a glide bait. And just look at this. I mean, come on. I mean, if it's just me, tell me, but I think the color of that is phenomenal. I think it looks great. It's nice and heavy duty. I believe it is just about 7 inches long, a little under. It's got a rubber tail fin, and of course your single joint right in the middle, and that red eye, and it's got some big old hooks. And I had been eyeing this one for a while just because I really loved the way it looked, but I was worried about not really being able to fish it, because around my area I don't really think that there's anything that would eat something like this big in the water right around me. But I plan on doing a lot of traveling this year and taking you guys with me in terms of fishing. So we will definitely get this out there and use it. And yeah, like I said, I mean, I think the detail is great. This lure was a little over $5, which for a glide bait, as we all know, could be a lot worse. And much like all the other glide baits I have purchased off of Temu, this thing has great action. I have yet to find a glide bait that I have complaints with from Temu in regards to that. So yeah, obviously I'll get you guys out there with me and we'll really get a look at this guy in the water, but first impressions of having seen it myself, and obviously just looking at it like this, I mean, that is just, I think, a beautiful lure. But that is it for today, for tonight's little Temu lure review video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, watching it, as much as I enjoyed making it. And I cannot wait until we are back at it with the next one. Should have a video of me actually out on the water up within the week, within a couple of days. That is my goal. That is what I'm going for. And I hope you guys will join me. So until the next one, I am letting you guys off the hook. See you then.